I'm Hugh Grant.
I'm Michelle Rodriguez.
I'm Chris Pine.
And this is The Wired Complete, Incomplete. I got this. And this is The Wired Complete. Why don't you have him say it? He's the best.
No. This is the Wired autocomplete interview.
What made Chris Pine famous?
Star Trek, the first one. And the first week that it came out, when there were paparazzi outside of my tiny apartment that I was living at on Silver Lake Boulevard, it was a very eye-opening experience. Next one?
How is Chris Pine alive in Wonder Woman 1982?
Oh, because...
We may have some simpler ones.
No, hold on.
Yeah, I know.
No, hold on. I know this. There's like a stone of... There's a stone of some sort. And it was wished upon, and then I came back.
That really clears that up.
Who is Chris Pine's legendary grandmother?
This is an easy one. And when was my mom's mom came out to Los Angeles in the 30s and worked at Republic Pictures and Universal. She was a scream queen. And then she ended up being, she was at Bullock's at the hair department. She was the secretary for years.
What are
Chris Pine's fans called?
Yeah.
They're called Pine Nuts.
That's a thing.
How many Chris Pine Star Treks?
Is that in English?
What does that mean? How many Chris Pine Star Treks?
How many Chris Pine Star Treks? I've made 3 Star Treks. I've been involved in 3 Star Treks. Hopefully many more.
Woohoo!
What is Hugh Grant's favorite film, Hugh Grant?
Ever?
Yes.
Sound of Music. It's a difficult situation. I'm married to a Swedish woman who comes from the north of Sweden, where men are really men. They're so manly they hardly speak, and they chop wood. What they don't do is watch The Sound of Music in the afternoons and sing along with the Mother Superior when she sings Climb Every Mountain. And they certainly don't cry when the father, Christopher Plummer, is touched by his children singing and then joins in. But I do cry. But it's impeccable. The film is impeccable. There's not a single moment I don't love. And I sometimes go to those, you can have a whole party where you screen the film and everyone dresses up as characters. Mm-hmm. I think it was Elton John's 60th was like that. I went as the Baroness.
Wow. Next question.
Okay, great. What is Hugh Grant's last line in Love, Actually?
Unwatchable. Don't know. Oh, yes, I do know. I think I improvised it. So she jumped into my arms at the airport, and I say, God, you weigh a ton.
What did Hugh Grant study at Oxford?
Well, English literature. Fat lot of good that did me. But I didn't do much of that towards the end. I became a socialite, really. I went to parties and was pretentious.
Nothing much has changed.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What book is Hugh Grant reading in Notting Hill?
In that nauseating moment on the bench at the end, I'm reading Captain Corelli's Mandolin by Louis de Bernier, which was going to be his next film. So it's a little in-joke from Roger Michel. God rest his soul, who now passed away.
What movie was Hugh Grant and Meryl Streep in?
We made a film called Florence Foster Jenkins, in which she plays the worst singer in the world. It was a true story. I play her sort of husband / manager / possibly the man who sort of used her a bit. You're not quite sure whether I'm good or bad. That's the genius of my performance.
You're not quite sure. Everyone else is, though.
I enjoyed it, and I think Meryl learned a lot from watching me. Yeah. Well, Michelle, what kind of car do you drive?
Tesla.
When does Michelle Rodriguez appear in Lost?
I have no idea. I'm the horrible calendar person, but I did in the 2nd season, I think. I was a little disappointed they went the Bible route. I was expecting them to go maybe a little more sci-fi, black hole, Rosenbridge, vibes, but they kind of went Bible with it, so. But it's okay. It was still fun.
How many Resident Evil movies is Michelle
2.
Rodriguez in?
2. I only did 2. Because I died in the first one. And they only brought me back to life once and then killed me again. It was a clone thing, I'm always being brought back to life in movies. I don't know why this happens. They always kill me. They're like, she doesn't have a boyfriend. We don't know what the purpose of this strong female, is.
Because they really want you back. Fans really want you back.
Afterwards.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
It is a good sign.
You know what I mean?
But, why kill me in the first place? They're so mean.
Misogynist.
I guess.
Hugh, do you have any more questions?
Show us your dead face. It's really difficult, dead. Yeah. I'd go with open eyes.
No.
Yeah, better. That's terrifying. Now come back to life. Oh, she's gone. Very difficult. Okay, here we go.
How long to play Dungeons and Dragons? I don't know if there's like a time limit. You can play for as long as you want. And I think some campaigns go on for quite a long time. Can you play Dungeons and Dragons?
Is that the next one?
It's the next one.
All right.
Yep.
Yep. Bye.
Yep.
What's the next one?
Dun, 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 dun.
Yourself.
By yourself. You absolutely can't. I don't think you can play Dungeons and Dragons by yourself. I think the whole thing about it is that you play with other people and it's a jam. It's a good time.
Let's play. We've got to play. We're coming to the end of knowing each other and we've never played.
Why are we coming to the end of knowing each other?
Well, a film's coming out and...
Yeah, but there could be more films.
So...
Can you die in Dungeons and Dragons? I think you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. You can die in Dungeons and Dragons. And then you create another character, yeah.
I've died before. Ah, right on. How Dungeons and Dragons works.
There's dice involved. You have to choose a character.
Are we talking about the game?
Yeah, the game.
No idea.
And you go on campaigns and...
Do you dress up?
You can.
You can, sure,
Yeah.
I guess.
Could I be the Baroness?
Yes.
Okay.
What is the plot of the new Dungeons and Dragons movie? We can't say the whole new plot, but essentially a gang of thieves and a motley crew of ruffians managed to unleash this secret evil power.
I don't remember that bit at all.
Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah.
I mean,
Which evil power?
he's in denial.
Maybe. Well, we're not
that
really allowed to
ultimate?
give away the plot anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're delightful.
Yeah.
Okay.
How is Dungeons and Dragons fun?
I'll tell you what. It is fun. I haven't seen it yet. I see it tonight. But I hate all script. I thought it was a very funny script. I thought it was like Monty Python, but with moving bits. And if you like monsters and dragons, and there's a very good fish that eats babies or something. What's that bit? Well, I may have got that wrong. I can't remember. I'm not in that scene.
Does Chris Pine do BMW commercials?
Oh my God.
Oh, well. That's a good question. Do you do BMW commercials?
Yes, I do BMW commercials for 12 years. The voiceover.
Oh, wow.
What would you say?
What do I say? I say a lot of things, Hugh. I say a lot of things. About the cars.
Okay.
Does Chris Pine have a flip phone?
I do not anymore, unfortunately, have a flip phone. I gave it up, which is very hard. I really like my flip phone, but I find that I think 2022 makes it very difficult to be analog. The main issue is that I was trying to do group text with my friends, and on my flip phone, if you had a group text going on, you would send, if a text came in, it wouldn't be in the group text, it would be from every single person on the group text, and it would be the same text. Long story short, it was just too difficult. But I do miss it.
Is Chris Pine shy?
I would say 50-50 introvert, extrovert.
Is Chris Pine really singing Into the Woods?
That is actually Chris Pine's voice.
What does that mean?
Chris Pine likes to sing.
Well, what does it mean, Into the Woods?
Into the Woods is a
the
musical.
Sondheim musical.
Yeah.
Are Chris Pine's eyes really that blue?
Chris Pine's eyes are blue. Chris Pine's eyes are blue. Who does Hugh Grant play in Paddington?
I play, Paddington 2, the better of the two, many people's opinion. I'm the baddie, and he's a actor, a great London thespian called Phoenix Buchanan, who turns out to be rather evil. Anyway, children love it, and I say that. I took my children to the very first screening ever of it, and at the end of it, they just said, "Why are you in it so much?" That was odd. Then I took my ancient father, old military man, a bit confused, to the premiere at Leicester Square, and halfway through he turned to me and he said, "Is that a real bear?" I said, "Well, no, Dad, because he's talking." Anyway, he thought it was marvelous. Actually, it's a very well-reviewed film. It's the second best reviewed film ever on Rotten Tomatoes.
Does Hugh Grant actually sing in music and
Oh, sorry, I didn't
lyrics?
Yes, I do, but I'm auto-tuned beyond belief. Actually, that's not true. I'm auto-tuned a bit, but not as much as some. Drew Barrymore was in that film with me, and I don't think she'd mind me saying her singing is just horrendous. I mean, I've heard dogs bark better than she sings. But having said that, once they tuned her up, she sounded way better than me because she's got heart and voice and rock and roll, whereas I sounded like Julie Andrews, and I'm meant to be kind of rock and roll as well.
Does Hugh Grant know sign language?
I did learn sign language for 4 Weddings and a Funeral because I have these touching scenes with my brother who's deaf in that film.
Can Hugh Grant tap dance?
Well, yes. I tap dance a little bit at the end of Paddington 2.
Can Hugh Grant play Oh, yeah, I know. Can Hugh Grant play tennis?
I do play, but I'm a very, very angry player. I mean, really horrible. I was thinking the other day, why does no one ask me to play? And it's because I'm so unpleasant. I imitate the other player. If I think they're not really playing proper tennis and just nudging it around, I nudge it around as well. Or if they're playing moonballs, I moonball it. A Frenchman walked off the court the other day. He said, if you don't want to play, we don't have to play, huh?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. No, I'm not nice.
They really great.
Okay. Michelle, who did you play in Avatar?
Trudy Chacon, helicopter pilot.
Who do you play in Fast and Furious?
I play Leticia Ortiz, a kid from Los Angeles who grew up in the race car scene. And she used to live on the other side of the tracks and now works with the government on and off when they're not mad at her or her team. She gets to do really cool stuff around the world.
Are you a boxer?
I played a boxer, Diana Guzman, in my first feature film called Girl Fight. It was an independent film. It was the thesis of the director, Karin Kusama. It basically took her 6 years to get it off the ground because all the producers that she tried to make the movie with basically wanted the guy to win at the end, even though the thing was loosely based on Lucia Riker winning a Golden Gloves fight against a guy. She made this movie and it was fun.
So in male boxing, you're not allowed to hit below the belt. In female boxing, I've often wondered this. Are you allowed to hit a girl in the boobs?
Yeah, they wear these cups so it protects the tits.
So you can hit them?
You can. You can totally punch them as hard as you want.
Still seems wrong.
Right in the tits. Yeah, just knock them right there, Just keep pounding it out as much as you want.
That's awful.
I know, right?
Do you do your own stunts?
Only when they let me. I'm not as lucky as Tom Cruise or Jackie Chan. Insurance throughout the years has become a lot more responsible. And as it's become more responsible, they've allowed me to do a lot less. So I don't drive cars anymore, I just pull them in. I don't do extraordinary fight sequences, I just land or do the drop. Resident Evil had some wild stuff, boy. The gun rules in Germany before they were part of the EU, let me tell you, it was fun. I mean, you got to shoot MP5s, like no joke at the range. I almost took people's head off in SWAT. Sam Jackson, I remember him ducking behind me because of the guns. I really loved everything I've done, and I trained really hard for it with all the guns and all the fighting choreography, so yeah.
Do you ride a motorbike?
I did. I used to drive a Ducati, but I just sold it. It took me a while to learn to use it because my brother lost his arm on a bike while I was getting my license. And so it took me like a year to get the courage to ride a bike again. Once I did, I did some riding in Scotland. I did some riding in New Zealand, and it was fun. I did a couple 100 miles in both places, and I think that's enough for me.
Anything that you want to say for a wired audience?
Hopefully that we were a good time, right? Right,
so.
Hugh?
What, watching this? Well, you could apologize. We're sorry.
I love his honesty.
Yeah. But you'll like the film.